Welcome to the House that Hammer, built by the nation for the nation. Welcome to Raider Nation News today. If it's your first time in here, definitely don't let it be your last. Break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions. On a little early. Normally, our regular time is 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, but you see it right there in the chat. Shout out to Jason Hunter. What's up, bro? Gonna be a good Raw tonight. First hour is commercial free. There's a lot going on. Randy Orton's back. CM Punk is back. Yeah, I will be watching Monday Night Raw tonight at 8 o'clock. So we're going to be on here for maybe about 45 minutes or so. Appreciate you guys pulling on up. Great show last night. Yeah, terrible outcome in regards to our Raiders and the loss to our AFC West rival, Kansas City Chiefs. But I appreciate each and every single one of y'all that pulled up. A huge amount of views. Almost 100 new subscribers. I appreciate each and every single one of y'all. Let's get this rundown up. And let me do a quick roll call for the people that are in here. I know everybody's hanging out or wasted right now. They're getting wasted or getting lost, whatever you want to say. Shout out to Walt. Said a couple of games ago Peters would be cut. We are going to talk about that tonight. Alex Perez, what's good, man? And again, Jason Hunter and Ghostmaster, what's good, what's good, what's good. All right, so let's go through the recap first. That's going to be the first thing we talk about tonight. Again, we did lose 31-17. Had a 14-point lead. We blew the 14-point lead. They scored 21 unanswered. Second half was a thing that the Chiefs had trouble with for the last couple of weeks, majority of this season, and they ended up putting up 17 points in the second half. Go figure. Every time it's some type of weird stat or something a team has as an Achilles heel, we always seem to play down to it. It is what it is. We sit here now at 5-7. We're going into the bye week. It's a lot to talk about, a lot to think about, but let's go into these stats real quick. Let's do the team stats first. All right, so first downs, 23 for KC. Vegas had 16. Total yards, 360 to 358 in favor of KC. Both teams had 10 total drives. Both teams averaged 6.2 yards per play. Passing 291 to 235 in favor of KC. Rushing, we outdid them by nearly double, 123 to 69. Red zone, 3 for 4 for KC, 1 for 3 for us. Let's see, what else? Penalties, 4 for 40 for the Chiefs. We had no penalties. We had no turnovers. They didn't have any turnovers either. Salute to Redbone. Salute to Raider Spade. Salute to Oki pulling on up. Appreciate y'all. And our leaders for the game, I'm just going to talk about us. I could really care less about what the Chiefs did. Again, we lost. It is what it is. We move forward. Aiden O'Connell, 23 of 33, 248 yards, 1 touchdown. Josh Jacobs, 20 carries, 110 yards, 1 touchdown. Jacoby Myers, 6 receptions, 79 yards, 1 touchdown. That 18-yard slice and dice. And the 63-yard run, that power run to the left by Josh Jacobs. I don't know if you guys saw the social medias. And if you haven't, you could see it on the screen. My social medias are there. Check them out. I did put the video of the commentary when Jacobs ran it in. I thought it was pretty dope. And the little ADD part with, there's a flying pigeon on the field. That shit, I must have watched it a handful of times that I couldn't stop laughing every time I saw that one part. But that's where we are with the recap in regards to the stats. We are going to play Antonio Pierce's press conference from earlier this afternoon. Let's get right into that. Here we go.
Yes, the move on Marcus Peters.
Give me a thumbs up. Just let me know you guys can hear it loud and clear.
Who does this open the door for?
Yeah, just decided to move forward. Wish Marcus Peters the best. We had a great conversation last night, great conversation this morning, and we'll stick with that.
In terms of, replacing him?
Well, I think, you don't really replace anybody. It's next man up mentality, right? And we got some young guys here. JB, Jack Jones just got here. Hopefully get some more guys healthy in the mix, and just a great opportunity for some of our younger players.
AP, earlier in the year, you had done a review and you had talked, I'm not quoting, but paraphrasing, about getting a system in place. When you did the review yesterday, did somebody up top tell you to review it, or is it just gut?
You talking about our challenge?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We have somebody upstairs. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we saw Jack Jones came in that second half and got the opportunity to play a little bit for the first time since joining the team. What did you think of his just performance after you watched the tape?
Yeah, it was good to see him get some more reps than the week before against Miami. Obviously, he's going to be a work in progress, learn the system and scheme, but, the athleticism is there, the skills to cover what we want to do from a schematic standpoint with PG and the defense. He gives us some opportunities to make some plays, and obviously, as we go forward, his reps will grow with the confidence that the coaches have within him.
With Ja'Cory and Bennett, I know he started the season, and then you had some injuries and some ups and downs along the way. What's sort of gone into his progression, and how do you think he could maybe finish strong this last part of his rookie season?
I think when you're a rookie, you go through the roller coaster, right? The ups and downs. Start here at the high, you start and playing well, get nicked up a little bit, confidence, maybe a play or two here you wish you can take back. And I think what Ja'Cory's done a really good job of is just being a student of the game. He asks a lot of questions on the side. He's a sponge. sometimes when you take a step back, it's going to be a positive going forward for us. And I really think that's going to be the case with JB. He was in good spirits yesterday. He was engaged. Again, every week is a new week. And when we get back, we'll assess it and see how it goes. And I'm sure he won't be out the lineup too long.
Do you keep an eye on that, especially as a former player that maybe has gone through some ups and downs in terms of how they're handling that, sometimes the natural progression of this and sometimes where you do have to take a step back?
Right. Yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, I'll just remember my career. It started here, and sometimes you need to take a step back, and really see the big pictures because you get caught up in the mix. And look, he's been training since December of last year, almost a full year. Your body is not used to it. The college football season just ended for him. You always hear about that rookie wall. I think that's real, not just mentally, not just physically, but mentally as well. And I think there's nothing wrong with resetting a young player. Allow him to take a step back, learn from some older guys, get some more coaching time individually, more film study, and then get better on the practice field, and then that hopefully, shows up on game day.
AP, there's been 179 NFL games played so far this year, and only 2 teams, you and the Eagles, have had a game with no penalties. It's the first time since 2000 the Raiders have done it. It plagued this team prior to you taking over. What have you done to clean that up so dramatically?
I think just attention to details. You look at, I think the first game was 3-3, then 5 against the Dolphins, and 0. We're trending in the right way. Obviously, that's a negative. You hear most coaches say just 3 max. You know what I mean? I'm saying why 3 at all? I think guys have really done a good job, and really go to our coaches, the technique, the fundamentals that we talk about in practice. I mean, we still got 4 or 5 individual periods each and every day that we work on those things. The later in the season you get, you can't have all the reps, right? So now you get more into the sound and being fundamentally sound as a team, and that's what we want to be.
Percy.
Taking care of the football, something else we did
John,
really well
appreciate you,
yesterday.
bro. Thank
We've
you.
had 2 games like that in the last 4. So just having those progressions, right, each and every week. Last week, just to go back, 3 turnovers, 5 penalties. This week, no turnovers, no penalties. And that's what you want to see with your team growing, especially in the later part of the season.
So I'm going to stop that right there. This is one thing that we have not had happen in a very, very long time. And it just shows that the discipline is there. Not a single penalty. No turnovers, but I'm talking specifically about penalties because those that have been Raider fans for however long you've been Raider Nation or been a Raider fan, it's the one thing that gets us week in, week out, penalty after penalty after penalty, and it's always stupid penalties, right? So that right there, and I love the fact that Pierce has these numbers. I don't know if he has them on paper there or just has them in his head, but the fact that he is really, truly paying attention to detail. When he's talking about the numbers and stuff as well, not just in regards to the lack of penalties or no penalties at all yesterday, but this dude, he's another one. He talks about his players they take everything in like a sponge. He's doing the same thing as a coach, and you can't take that away from him at all right now. You cannot. Let's get back into it.
Career as a player and a coach, what would you say are some positives you could take away from having a bye later in the season?
Get healthy. 12 straight weeks in National Football League. That's tough. That's hard on the body. And for our guys, they fought. You saw Max Crosby did a hell of a job coming out there. Colton Miller coming back. For those guys to come back and now have an extra, 7 or so days to get ready before our next game, before we play the Vikings, is huge for our team. Also, I think, it's also an opportunity for us to reset mentally.
Damn, bro.
It's been a lot of trying times this year, a lot of ups and downs. And you sit back, you reset, you think about it, spend some time with your family. And then, come towards the end of the week, you start missing football again. That Friday, that Saturday, Sunday, you're not playing. Get these guys back in the building on Monday, and we're ready to roll.
There's reports out that Roderic Teamer is being waived. Is that something you can comment on? Or
Yeah, we decided to part ways.
I'm sorry. But point blank period, he ain't sugarcoating nothing. Yeah, he gone. Yeah, we waived him. Let's just hear the rest of it. I'm going to cut it off.
Obviously, there was an incident that kind of led to that. What's the lesson of that for your team? And is it worth having a conversation with the team about?
Yeah, it is. I mean, just making smart decisions. I think it goes for all of us. Ultimate respect for Teamer as a person. Got to know him well, had a lot of good conversations with him, wished him the best. Sometimes it's wrong timing, bad timing, and this is one of those cases. Decided to move forward, but I think all our guys need to understand this. Whatever you do on and off the field affects the decisions that's going to be made in this building, and we're going to do the best to protect the brand, the shield, and the Raiders organization.
When was the last time we heard a coach within our organization doing that and holding players accountable for the shit that they do off the field just as much as on the field? Again, this is our guy right now, and I don't want to hear anybody in the chat with the negativity. Oh, we need a new head coach. Da 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 da. This dude has not been a head coach on the next level. Okay, he was given this opportunity. He now stands at 2-2 as a head coach in the NFL. You cannot take that away from him. You can't knock him for what he's doing right now. He's dealing, and dealing is probably not the right terminology right now, but the players that he has, some of the issues that he has, sorry, this is all McDouchebag's problems. A lot of the players on this roster right now are the guys that him and Ziegler brought in. We cannot sit here and continue. I saw it last night during the live. I saw it on a couple of other lives today. We can't continue doing this, guys. We really can't. Let this guy ride out the rest of the season and let's see where this goes. Again, we currently stand at 5-7. There's a chance we're still going to finish with a record better than what we had under Josh McDumbass, okay? We finished 6-11 last year. I know that I said this after week 3, after everything that was going on, that, hey, if this shit keeps going, you're looking at a 4-13, 5-12 team. Yes, I did say that. Again, who's to say that he's not the guy that turns us around right now? Who's to say that he is not the guy that finishes with a better record than we had under Josh McDaniels and that terrible-ass regime? Come on. Like, this guy is a Raider. Support him, man. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking for you guys that are watching right now. Shout out to John, a.k.a. Hug D's, on the $4.99 super. Bro, AP's talk track reminds me of Mike Tomlin, a perennial playoff coach. We don't need another coach. I want to ride with this guy. He's him at the talk that shit, bro. That's how I feel about this right now. Like, I watched Graf earlier. I know he played the presser as well. And I said, like, I wish, and this is not a knock on the coaches that I had growing up, because I had some very, very great coaches, but Antonio Pierce is a guy I would love to have had as a head coach, man. Again, we all saw that presser, and I think everybody said the same thing with his introductory presser as interim head coach. Everybody wanted to run through a wall for that guy. I am still continuing to run through several walls for this guy right now. Like, I'm definitely backing him, would love to have him here as a head coach. I've talked about it before, 2, maybe 3 years. Why the hell not? Give this guy a chance. Give him a legitimate chance. Let's get through the rest of the season. Granted, we do have some winnable games remaining on the schedule. We have, I know people are still talking about that P word, that
playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs?
I'm not,
you kidding me? Playoffs?
I'm not going to sit here and have my hopes up. I did say to you guys, like, we can look back at 2021, and who's to say, why not us? We have the Chiefs again. We have the Vikings after this bye. We have the Chargers. We have the Colts. I believe that's the second to last game. And then our last game of the season's at home against the Broncos. Now, whether we have a shot or not, let's just continue to stay focused and try to get through these next couple of weeks. But I will tell you one thing. I do believe that our last game of the season might have some type of implications. Maybe not necessarily for us, but who's to say that we play the Broncos and maybe the Broncos' playoff hopes are on the line if they win? Why can't we ruin that? So, yeah. Let me get back to the chat, because I see a lot of you guys are talking right now. He's holding everyone responsible, including himself. Love it for AP, for our head coach. And we're going to talk about these releases as well. I know I haven't gone into detail yet about it, and we are going to talk about both of them, because there is some things to talk about, especially when it comes to Roderic Teamer. I knew nothing about the incident that happened on Saturday night. I didn't know until somebody in the chat brought it up, actually. So I was definitely blindsided. I hadn't been looking at my phone or anything majority of Sunday, so I had no idea. I'm surprised nobody brought it up to me when we did the Stardom Sit-em Sunday morning. Folks need to relax. That's a fact. As a new coach. He has a better record than Frank Wright and Josh McDaniels. Frank Wright got fired earlier today, for those that don't know. There have been a lot of coordinators. There have been head coaches that have been on the chopping block already. Ken Dorsey got fired by the Buffalo Bills last week. I think Jack Del Rio just got fired as well after the loss to the Cowboys. It's already become a shit show and a bunch of people up for grabs. And here's a guy that I talked about earlier, Derek Barnett, the defensive lineman that was released by the Eagles. He just signed with the Texans earlier this afternoon. So much for that plan, right? Spade says season isn't over. It's not. I'm not saying it is. Know what his experiences with Henry Ruggs back when he was a rookie. You would think he wouldn't do this, but yeah, Master, that's a fact, man. Another John Gruden guy. AP running into a burning firehouse. Not only do some fans want to put the fire out. Hold on, I got to put it on the other screen. Put the fire out. They want no damages to the house. 4 games, be reasonable. Thank you. See, some people do see it. And people understand it. Like, when McDaniels came in, I said, hey, you learn through life experiences. You learn from your mistakes. And maybe he's learned from those mistakes. And goddamn, man, was I wrong. So that's one dude that's always going to be the same person that he was. And I've said it for quite some time that he's not a head coach. He is an offensive coordinator at best. He's not a head coach. So if any team is dumb enough to give him that opportunity again, I definitely do not want whatever it is that you're smoking on. That's it. But I want AP as head coach, and he needs to get his guys. Perez, 1,000% correct. Now, again, a lot of people are on the same whole thing with Bo Hardigree. Look, I can't give him a hard time. I can't say, F this guy, let's get rid of him. He's never been an offensive coordinator before. And you know what's funny? You look at the Houston Texans right now, right? And what they've done so far this season definitely have stunned a lot of people, a lot of fans throughout the league. CJ Stroud, front runner right now for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Their head coach, D'Amico Ryan, is a defensive-minded head coach, right? He got his guy in Will Anderson, or was it McDonald? I can't remember. But he's got his guys, right? His offensive coordinator that's in there right now is a rookie offensive coordinator. Now, this dude obviously has had a lot more time with the players to help them develop, to really game plan, right? Bo Hardigree has not had that same luxury, as he was more or less, I don't want to say thrown to the wolves, but he was given this position, this interim position in the middle of a season when he was a quarterback's coach. It's a lot of different things that people need to understand and realize, instead of wanting to burn the house down and point fingers right away. The same thing goes with Aiden O'Connell. You guys are constantly shitting on this kid. Why? He is a rookie, a 4th rounder. When we brought him in, I said there's a good chance that he's probably going to be a backup at best. Did he have any turnovers yesterday? No. Passing yards wise, he threw for over 200 yards. He had a touchdown pass. It would be great if he was a little bit more mobile. Yes, absolutely. We know that the real threats in the NFL now, the upward trend, is the dual threat quarterbacks. But we cannot, another one, we can't give a hard time. And guess what, guys? Unless he is cut, he is here for another 3 seasons. And guess what? It ain't costing that much either. His deal is a 4-year, $4 million deal. It ain't breaking our bank right now. Let this kid continue to do what he's doing the rest of the season. Please. Again, a lot of you, and I'm not saying specifically people in this chat right now, but between the live yesterday, watching Graph this afternoon, watching Wasted, it's like you can never satisfy the masses. Do you want that other quarterback back here starting for us? I'm not talking about our current backup either. Do you still wish that other quarterback was here? Do you wish that McDaniels was riding out the rest of the season? Because I'll tell you one thing, this season, if he was still here, you're definitely looking at a 3-14 team at best. We gotta stop the bullshit, man. We gotta stop. Let's go. Let's move in. I feel like I've just went off the rails with everything. Yes, guys, benched in the second half. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that because that's another thing I do want to talk about. Marcus Peters, benched in the second quarter yesterday, has been released by the Las Vegas Raiders. A lot of people have talked about this. A lot of you guys have said he's going to be gone sooner than later. A lot of us, including myself, have been incredibly frustrated watching the games with his lack of production. So let's talk about this. The former 3-time Pro Bowler, Defensive Rookie of the Year, played in 12 games with us, 28 tackles. I'm just going to leave that right there. He had 28 tackles. He had 1 interception. Kudos to you, buddy. 5 pass deflections. Okay. It's a cool story. He had 15 assisted. That's cool too. 11 missed tackles on the year. 11 missed tackles on the year. Now, I just mentioned he had, in the 12 games this year, he's had 28. I wish somebody, I'm not going to be the one to do it. I wish somebody would just look back at some of these games and see how many times he was just pushing people out of bounds. Because obviously that's going to constitute as a tackle, but it was probably just from the little love taps out of bounds. He was not it. A lot of us, including myself, he only gave up 1. I think. I could be wrong. Hard to call them missed tackles when he didn't even try. That's a fact. So it could be a hell of a lot more. I saw that in Miami a lot. Yeah. Like, we thought, I know I did, hey, let's bring this vet in. He can help mentor these kids, right? If I have a veteran like that with this lazy ass play, not an insult, just a fact of life, do I really want to keep that dude around to help these young kids like Ja'Cory Bennett? Nate Hobbs is still, to me, he's young. Jack Jones, this is his 3rd year in the league. He's a young kid as well. Do you really want somebody like Marcus Peters trying to teach these kids when he's not really leading by example? I don't think so. So, kick rocks. It is what it is. You're really not going to be missed. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but dude, oh, it's his 2nd year. Okay. I thought he was drafted in 20. Okay. Yeah. I was looking at it the other day. You're right. But hell nah, teaching them bad habits. Exactly. So cool. Like, no disrespect, but you're not going to be missed, man. Roderic Teamer, again, I didn't know about this until late yesterday, really during the game. A misdemeanor DUI late Saturday night. Apparently this was like hours before the game. Dude, really? Like, you've had troubles in the past. I believe, if I remember correctly, he was suspended for violating the league's substance abuse policy in 2020. Like, dude, you heard what Coach Pierce said. Like, everybody's accountable, man. You need to be mindful of the things you do on and off the field. Like, point blank, period, the end. So we're done with all that. We've already been on 30 minutes. Damn, 30 minutes already? So you guys got me for like another 15 at least. Do me a favor, for those that are coming on in, if you haven't already, break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash the bell. Let me see if I'm missing anything in this chat right now. Brady's bringing lots of grades in their waning years. That kind of sounds like the New York Mets as well, man. I guess I'm a glutton for punishment. Like, I love my teams, I love my Raiders, I love my Mets, but man, can we just win, please? There were 3 things in my lifetime before I die that I want to see. I've already got to see one of them, and that was a Triple Crown in horse racing. I need my Mets to win a World Series. They've been to the World Series twice in my lifetime. Well, actually 3 times. They won the World Series, but I was 9 months old, so I don't remember that. last time the Raiders were in the Super Bowl was the early 2000s. Like, can my teams please win a championship before I die? Salute to Freight Trade. Dude is on a limited playback for Aiden. Hold on. Limited playbook for Aiden, and they're adding plays each week and installing them for him, so give him time. Ghostmaster, you and I are on the same page, bro. And like I said, people can say he needs to go, he's trash, da-da-da-da-da. He is a rookie. It's not like he's under a lucrative first-round rookie contract. He's fine. 4 years, $4 million. Let the kid develop, man. How difficult do you think this is right now for a rookie quarterback to be in a situation like this mid-season? You weren't even named the starting quarterback to start the season. You were constantly being placed as inactive on a weekly basis, right? Because of the dictator. The dictator felt that the rookie wasn't ready. And he feels like that about any position, so I'm not going to go into details about that. But Garoppolo, with all his turnovers and him doing what he was doing, his lack of performance, his little injury bugs, this, that, and the third, his number was called up. When Antonio Pierce took over, when Hardegree was made the offensive coordinator, Aiden is our starting quarterback. Again, 2-2 right now under this regime. Realistically, if you took your hat off, if you really watch football and you took your fandom away for a minute, looking at those two games, you would have thought, as a fan, yeah, they're going to win. They're going to get this. Taking your fandom hat off and really knowing football, this could be a tough game. I don't know if we're necessarily going to win, but it could be a close game. Look at the game against the Dolphins, first ranked in offense, and we held them 20 points, and we hung in there. Just going conservative in the second half and some missed opportunities, we lost by a touchdown, right? Going to this game last night, we're up 14-0. Just didn't keep our foot on the gas. I talked about the main guys that we needed to look out for. That was Pacheco, that was Kelsey, and you had to keep a close eye on Mahomes and try to prevent him from rolling out. You got other receivers involved, receivers that their receiving group has been terrible this entire season. The rookie Rashid Rice, all of a sudden he comes out of nowhere and did his thing. The tight end Watson got his bell rung by Spillane. The dude shot back up. Mahomes found a window for him and threw that touchdown pass. Like, there's only so much I can say about this right now and where our team stands and what our current situation is. But again, things can only go up from here. The schedule is not too difficult. Justin Jefferson is returning most likely against us after this bye week. You got to worry about Jordan Addison. Who is the running back? Want to say it's Madison? I can't remember his first name, but it's the one that succeeded Dalvin Cook. And the astronaut himself, man, like Josh Dobbs has really held it down for them since being traded to Minnesota. So it's going to be a matchup, man. I know that hamstring injury is something not to take lightly. I don't know if they're going to put Jefferson on a snap count or not, and we're not going to do a matchup preview right now, but it's just something to look ahead to. Next week we'll do all that, but it's a lot to take in. And like I said, these other remaining teams, the Chargers are just a dumpster fire. Always injury prone. Their head coach is a moron. They just can't seem to get it done. They sit now at 4-7, I believe, after that loss to the Ravens last night. The Colts are another team that Uncle Rico seems to be doing the thing with rookie Anthony Richardson down for the year. It's really an upside down NFL this year. We talked about the Texans before. I'm glad they're not on our schedule, but this shit is just really upside down. Let me get back into the chat and make sure that I don't miss anything. I apologize to you guys. Oh, definitely, Freight. Definitely, bro. Punk and Orton back. Now make AP our coach, and I'm happy. Shout out to Big Rob. All right, so we got like another 10 minutes. I'm going to open it up for you guys. I want to hear from you guys for a little bit. We're beating the Vikings. All right, I'm with it, bro. Like, I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. Where is it? Let me just get this going, and you guys can start calling in. I'm only gonna take a few calls because I want to be off of here within the next 10 minutes. Let me put it in the chat for you guys. I don't know why I did it like that, but whatever. There it is. Did it is. There you guys go. Calling the SeatGeek Vault line. Sound off on tonight's topics. Please have some legitimate conversation or questions. I want people with football IQs, no disrespect, but let's have some real Raider football conversations right now. Vault line is open. 347-471-0361. I think we're good. We have 95 in the chat right now. If you haven't already, do me a favor, break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash the bell. And if nobody's going to call in, I'm going to give it like 2 minutes. If nobody calls in, we can cut it. We've already been on for 37 minutes. Like I said, this wasn't going to be a long live tonight anyways. I just wanted to do a quick recap with you guys, chop it up a little bit, give my opinions on certain things that have been going on, especially when it comes in-house with you guys, Raider Nation. Like, can we just be positive? Can we support the guys that are currently on this team? That's all I'm asking. And we got our first caller. Yo, Raider Nation News today. What's your name? Where you calling from? Hello? Okay, I guess this isn't working now. Nope, that's not popping up. Let's try this again. Hold up. I'm putting it on Do Not Disturb. Give me a second. I don't know why I just did that, but give me a sec, guys. Sorry for that. Unpair. This mixer is really something. I tell you guys. Bluetooth. Make sure this pops up the right way and we're good to go. Back to it. All right, let's try this again, guys. Apologies, 1,000 apologies. Let's try this again. Numbers on the screen, you guys see it, 347-471-0361. I don't know why that just happened because this thing is like really finicky at times. Here we go. Raider Nation News today. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hammer, what's good? It's John Corrigan.
What's up, bro? How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. Sound off.
So we're 5-7. Got 5 more games after this bye week. I don't see us going 5-0, just to keep it completely honest. I mean, maybe we go 4-1 and end it on a what, 9-8 record.
Be a hell of a lot better than last season.
Definitely one more game, one more win, and we're tied with last season. 2 more, and we beat last season. So I mean, that's totally possible.
Yep.
Based on what I'm seeing from the team, from the way AP talks to the press, from the heads being held high in the locker room after the game, it doesn't seem like it fazed them because they lost, but it didn't faze them in terms of what they're trying to do, their work ethic. I loved the move of telling Peters, hey, we've seen enough, bro. Like, you're not doing your job on the edge. You don't tackle. You're out of position a lot of times. You know, our defensive coordinator is giving you a space to be in zone, and you're, you know, walking away from the zone or backing up away from the zone. I love that move. I think Teamer with the DUI, AP's telling his players, man, we're in Vegas. These kind of maneuvers aren't things that can happen on this football team for us to be successful. So I love that message that it puts across to the players because, I mean, we watched it happen with JJ. They covered that stuff up when he crashed inside the tunnel next to the airport. It happened with Henry Ruggs. We all know what happened there.
Yep.
It happened with Nate Hobbs a year ago. He was found passed out in a parking lot in Vegas. So that message from the coaching staff and the organization to Teamer was like hey, we're done messing around. You boys are adults. You get paid millions of dollars. Act right. Get on the same page. We're trying to build an organization here that wins and not one that is consistently set behind or set backwards because you guys make dumb decisions off the football field. So I really, really appreciated that.
No, I definitely do too. Like, look, you guys know I've been out there about 6 times in the last year and a half, man. And people make it seem like that is a place that you don't want to be, that place, like being in Vegas, just it smells trouble, right? If you're the right type of person, if you know how to carry yourself the right way, you're not going to get yourself in trouble. You're not going to find yourself in trouble. You're not going to make stupid decisions like that, realistically.
Oh, there's a solid population of people who live in Vegas that I know personally that don't even go to the Strip because they know what happens down there. They live their lives normal. They do their thing. They handle their job without any fail, and they don't get in a bunch of trouble. For one, it's a lot of money, it's youngsters, and it's mindset when you're in a city that has all those options, right? Yep. So I think it's just a good message to send them. I really, really enjoyed the 14-0 kind of start to the game. I was hoping it was 17. Unfortunately, Daniel Carlson missed the easy kick, and I don't know what the problem is there. The man used to be automatic. This season he seems to be missing ones that he should be making. But I had that sneaking feeling with like 6-7 minutes left in the second quarter where I went, okay, we've given the ball up a little bit too much, too many 3-and-outs, and here comes Mahomes. And sure enough, by the time we get to halftime, it's 14-14, and I went, unless there's major changes in that locker room and AO can get out of his own way and get the ball to his playmakers quickly, we're going to have a problem. And fortunately, it reared its ugly head in the second half.
Like I said, like we stand right now under this this interim process 2-2. The remaining schedule, we could go 4-1, maybe 3-2, like, and that's being a realist about it. Like, we get this full week off. You heard AP say like these guys don't have to go back to work until Monday. Good, especially for Mad Max. Let this dude rest, man.
Yeah.
There's a report out there. I saw this earlier this afternoon. Like I told you guys, like it wasn't just the knee. He was dealing with something, and he ended up having an infection. I believe he went to the hospital Thursday for the infection. The commentators did talk about the knee. We saw him with that knee wrapped up every time he was on the sideline yesterday. He's gonna be getting surgery when the season's over. And hopefully it's nothing serious. Like maybe it's a sprain or a slight tear. If it was full blown, we know he wouldn't be playing right now. But the fact that he sacrificed yesterday to play with his brothers says a lot, man. It speaks volumes.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think he might have something in terms of like a stretch of the MCL or possibly a kneecap issue. I think if it was an ACL, he would not be out there. There's no possible way, especially not without appropriate bracing. But the fact that they had to call a timeout to pull him off the field and the anger that we saw on his face coming off the field in the fourth quarter, I love that, man. That is 100% Raider Nation through and through, running through Max Crosby's veins. He refused to come off the field. They had to call a timeout to get him off, and then he yelled at the coaching staff the whole way off to the sideline. So I love the pure angriness that man plays with. I wish him nothing but the best. I hope that he does heal up. We have 3 conference games in those last 5 too, right? We got the Chargers, the Chiefs, and Denver is the last game.
Well, we have those are divisionals, but we have 4 conference games total remaining. We have the Chargers, the Colts, the Chiefs, and the Broncos. And those conference games can play a huge role if we in fact finish with maybe a 9-8, or even, again, I'm not 9-8 or 10-7, it might get you in. But the conference record is going to play a role in that as well.
Oh, absolutely. We hold the cards in our own destiny, but I just don't know that we have the pieces or the experience on the quarterback play to get us there. I mean, just to be real and honest, you know, Aiden still has to grow. He still has to get through his progression. So we just got to hope it all works out, man. And I think there's hope. In the last 4 games, I've seen the nation have a lot more hope than they have in the past, especially through McDaniel. So I'm just hoping that continues to grow. I'm hoping that, you know, AP can find those wins that helps him solidify the position. And, you know, I hate to say it, but next year we should look pretty good. And we've said that for, feels like a decade now.
We just got to give this some time. Let's get through the rest of the season, then we can revisit that during the offseason. John, always appreciate the call, man, and we'll definitely be talking soon, bro.
And make sure you do those 50 for wasted. I want to see him eat his words.
I got you.
You Build-A-Bear, man. That ain't cool.
Appreciate you, bro. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bro. Bye.
Later. All right, guys. It's about 3 minutes before Monday Night Raw, so we are going to wrap it up. I appreciate y'all that pulled on up tonight. On your way out, if you haven't already, break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions. In the house at Hammer, built by the nation, for the nation, Raider Nation News Today. Continue to stay safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. COVID is on the rise. Remember to wash your hands and your asses. And as always, win, lose, or tie, Raider Nation till I die. Till next time, y'all. Peace, love, and positivity. I'm out.